Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, today we will revise our chapter number 1, that is crop production. That is crop production. What are crops? First is, what are crops? Student, plants that are cultivated on a large scale as a source of food and other material are called the crops. Many crops are grown for use, such as cereals, pulses, oils, fruits, and fiber giving crops. And certain factors such as the type of the soil as well as the climate, conditions, temperature, humidity, rainfall, these determine the crop that we can grow on a particular area. So according to this, based on the growing season, we divide the crops into two parts: Kharif crops and Rabi crops. Kharif crops and Rabi crops. Kharif crops, crops that are generally planted around June, means during the monsoon, and harvested around October are called the Kharif crops. For example, rice, soyabean, or we can say groundnut. Rabi crops, the crops that are grown generally near November, means during winter, and harvested around April, they are called Rabi crops. For example, wheat, pea, and gram. Now students, agriculture. What is agriculture? The science of cultivation of crops on a large scale to provide food and material is known as the agriculture. ठीक है जी? And this agriculture involves a series of activities that are known as agriculture practices. The agriculture practices are: number 1, preparation of soil. Soil is prepared by plowing, means tilling or leveling. These processes are carried out to ensure that all the necessary nutrients are available to the plants for growth. This is preparation of soil. How we can prepare soil? Preparation of soil done under the processes of: number 1, plowing. The process of breaking and turning or loosening the soil is known as the plowing. This is the first step for the preparation of soil. This is plowing. Plowing means turning or leveling of the soil is known as plowing. And plowing is done with plow or tractor and trolley. These days, tractor driven cultivators are used for normally plowing the soil. These machines are more efficient than the traditional ones. In the old days, a plow that is made up of wood is used for leveling the soil. And now students, what are the advantages of these plowing? Plowing की क्या advantages हो सकती हैं? It creates air spaces in the soil which help the roots of the plants to take in air. It loosens the soil. It helps bring nutrients rich soil to the surface, and it also increases the water holding capacity. It removes weeds. It helps in mixing manure into the soil thoroughly. ठीक है जी. Now leveling. Big lumps of soil are called clumps. They may remain in the soil even after the plowing. Plowing के बाद भी ये रह जाती हैं. The process of breaking down such a big lumps of soil is called the leveling. This is done with the implements known as the levelers. Leveler is made up of a wood or metal plates that is used to crush the soil clumps. Next is sowing. Before sowing, we have to select the seeds. How we select the seeds? We select only healthy seeds. Sowing is the process of planting seeds in the soil by broadcasting or by using seed drill. But before sowing, we select the seeds. How we select the seeds? Healthy seeds should be selected before sowing. Seeds should be sown at an appropriate distance from each other. Seeds should be planted at the correct depth. Now sowing is done by two methods, broadcasting and seed drill. First we will discuss about the broadcasting. Broadcasting is one of the oldest method of sowing in which seeds are simply scattered by the hand. However, this method does not ensure uniform distribution of seeds and requires lot of time and manual labor. Next is seed drill. Seed drill is a tool that is used for sowing seeds. The traditional seed drills has a funnel shaped opening where seeds are inserted into the drill. Seeds pass through 2 to 3 pipes into the soil and are sown in a row. Now modern seed drills are used that are attached with the tractors, and seed drill ensures that seeds distributed uniformly, and this saves both time as well as our labor. Next students is irrigation. Next is irrigation. Irrigation means the supply of water to the crops is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation depends upon the crop, on the soil, on the season. And sources of water for irrigation includes wells, tube wells, lakes, ponds, canals, rivers and dams also. But the methods of irrigation can be categorized as traditional or modern. First we will discuss about the traditional methods. What are the traditional methods? You know very well. Traditional methods of irrigation involve drawing water from water sources such as wells or lakes, chain pumps, pulley systems. These are the traditional methods of drawing water. And what are the modern methods of irrigation? Modern methods of irrigation are sprinkler system, drip irrigation. Sprinkler system, a network of pipes are attached to the main pipeline. Each pipe has a rotating sprinkler nozzle, and water pumps through the main pipeline is sprayed over all the crops. Fertilizers or pesticides may also be mixed with water. And what is drip irrigation? Drip irrigation, water is made to fall drop by drop near the roots of the plant. This method is also used in which areas there are deficiency of water. It is one of the best method for saving water. Now, after irrigation, we apply manures and fertilizers. Applying manures and fertilizers. Soil fertility can be improved by applying manures and fertilizers to the soil. What are manures? Manures are the substances produced by the decomposition of plant and animal waste. The waste is dumped in a large pit and allowed to decompose. The decomposed matter is then added to the soil in the fields. This method is inexpensive and helps to add nutrients to the soil. Next are the fertilizers. What are fertilizers? Fertilizers are the chemicals produced in the factories which provide some specific nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium to the plants that increase the yield of the crop. But excess of fertilizers can harm the soil, and these are also washed into the water bodies. Fertilizers also cause water pollution. After that, crop protection. How we can protect the crop? Crop protection. How we can protect the crop? We protect the crop from weeds as well as from pests. First, what are weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants that grow along with the crops and compete with the main crop for water, nutrients and space. It means these decrease the growth of the main crop. These should be removed. The removal of these weeds is known as the weeding. Weeding can be done by two methods. One is manual method, second is using weedicides. Manual method में क्या है? Manual method में the weeds are removed by the hands or by the use of trowel from the main crop. And using weedicides. Weedicides are the chemicals that are used to spray on the main crop, on the crops. These kills the weeds only and do not harm the main crop. Next are the pesticides. Pesticides are the chemicals that are used for controlling the pests. Like weedicides, pesticides are too toxic and these should be used carefully and is often used in recommended quantity. Students, these days some educated farmers use doing organic farming. Organic farming means without the use of the chemicals. It is becoming popular day by day. Now after crop protection, our crop is ready for harvesting. We harvest the crop. Harvesting means the process of cutting and gathering mature crop is called harvesting. How harvesting done? Harvesting can be done by threshing, winnowing or by using combine harvester. In the older days, students, first the farmer cut the crop with the sickle, then it is threshed by the help of animals, bulls, and then winnowing. Winnowing means separated large particles from the small particles with the help of wind. But now, today combine and harvester are used for harvesting the crop. After harvesting, how we store the crop? Storage and pest control. Storage and pest control. Harvested crops are now stored in a huge granaries and silos. Grains must be stored properly to prevent it from spoiling and to keep safe from pests such as rats and insects. The warning signs of pest infestation includes rat drooping, dead and live insects, cocoons or white larvae. By seeing this, we can protect our crops. But I can give you some methods to prevent spoilage and pest infestation. Number 1. Grains should be properly dried in the sun to reduce their moisture content. Grains should be stored in airtight containers in a cool, dry place. The correct level of temperature and moisture should be maintained. Dried neem leaves and turmeric can be used to keep the pests away. So students, these are the agriculture practices that we are revised from chapter number 1. Next is the animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means the rearing of animals on a large scale for food and other purposes is called animal husbandry. It is another aspect of agriculture. Animal husbandry includes the rearing of cattle for dairy products, meat, egg and fish, honey. Rearing involves caring for feeding, breeding farm animals and keeping them free from disease. So students, these are the agriculture practices that we have discussed today. Thank you and have a nice day.